If there's one thing photographers must never, ever do, it is to show their contact sheets or to display them in public. One must never show one's contact sheets because they may prove too revealing, because wrong conclusions could be made, and perhaps, and even worse, correct ones. Let us now move on to examine several types of my contact sheets. This first contact sheet represents a short moment in time during a vacation in Spain in 1951. As usual, I carried my Leica and snapped at anything that piqued my interest with no particular thought in mind. Upon closely examining this contact sheet many years later, I found one picture which I think is quite good and another one about which I'm not too sure of as yet. The rest are snapshots of my friend and of his wife and of his child and of other friends. The lady with the cropped face and hacked chicken is a picture that I'm only half sure of. While driving my automobile, I snapped some shots of streetcars from my driver's seat. The boy on the back of the streetcar, taken from my car, is the one that I liked, but which needed a lot of manipulation in the printing to make it legible. In this contact sheet, the situation was very emotional and touching. People in a highly charged state, and to complicate matters, photography was strictly forbidden. The scene is the railway station in Budapest, the year 1964. The people on the train were emigrating, perhaps leaving their country forever. Invading their privacy at such a tender moment while trying to be inconspicuous so as not to be caught by the police was my biggest anxiety. The shoot was necessarily brief. Some Hungarian trains run on time. By observing the clock in the center top of the pictures, the shooting of the entire contact sheet took 10 minutes, culminating in the few seconds of the train's actual departure. I think that even a trained orangutan with a wide-angle lens could not fail to make an acceptable picture of that situation. Still, there are rules in photography, as in all the plastic arts, and any useful picture must be a good picture first. There are many good emotional moments caught on the whole contact sheet, but there is only one in all of them which is a properly framed picture combining the emotion and a proper composition. A lucky thing, too, because the woman in the picture finally noticed me immediately after the good frame was shot. These two contact sheets are the result of a promenade on the beach in Trouville in 1965. I observed a man trying to close his beach umbrella, so I followed and snapped away, miraculously unnoticed during the shooting of over 70 exposures with a change of film in between. The more the man struggled, the more amusing the situation seemed to me. I was praying that he would not succeed and that I would not run out of film, and in fact, without the last picture at the end of my roll of film, when he gives up and returns home with a still opened umbrella, there would be no point or resolution to the photographs. If there's a lesson in this, it is that persistence and just one more could be a photographer's best friend. The time is 1959. The scene is an American industrial fair in Moscow. The characters are the Vice President of the United States, who plans to run for president, and the Chief of the Soviet Union, Nikita Khrushchev. The situation is massive crowds and bedlam as the two politicians move from exhibit to exhibit, Nixon boasting about American accomplishments, Khrushchev fielding the jibes, and then joining into the asinine argument. By sheer luck, I guessed correctly where they would turn up next, which was at a display of a modern kitchen behind a barrier. I rushed to it to have an unobstructed view as they approached the rail. Luck was with me. With a direct view and no one to push and shove, I circumnavigated Nixon and Khrushchev, finding my best range. From then on, it was like shooting fish in a barrel. But how pictures can lie. The illusion is one of Nixon standing up to the Soviets, while the reality was an argument about cabbage soup versus red meat. Bakersfield, California, 1984. It would be hard to imagine a funnier group of people than a gaggle of middle-class, middle-America nudists, unless it were that same group of nudists in social situations mixed with an assortment of fully dressed people. But the nudist ethic is not just a bed of roses, and without some practical problems. Even dedicated nudists must, at times, compromise and wear shoes, hats, and an occasional T-shirt because of inclement weather, or hot sun, or any number of atmospheric conditions not completely suitable for nudistic comfort. Sometimes they may even wish to wear a small, non-concealing article of clothing just to add a dash of elegance. When nudists get together to be judged by their dressed peers for their beauty and various other attributes, then you have a priceless situation. It is these visual contradictions, of course, that are a photographer's dream. Coming to such a fertile situation, the photographer needs only to find a good frame and a good moment. This contact is from a commercial fashion assignment. One might ask, why take so many pictures of the same situation? The answer cannot be altogether satisfactory, but here goes anyway. Modern motorized cameras are built for the maximum and the fastest use of film. In the old days, before advanced mechanization, photographers took less pictures with the same or even better results. Another reason can be that there are minuscule differences among the 36 pictures on the contact sheet, and one of those differences would separate a good picture from a bad one. Personally, I don't think so. Another reason is that the photographer is being paid a lot of money for his efforts, so he might as well take many extra pictures to show that he is really working hard, while supplying his art director, who also needs to occupy his time with something to do, in making his selections. In the case of these contacts, luck stepped in and made me a little gift. Suddenly, from nowhere, while my camera motor was chugging away, a man appeared wheeling a baby carriage, making for an amusing, incongruous photograph. The man and baby carriage was in the right place for only a split second, and 2 frames later he was gone forever. The published picture came from the masses of near-identical photos. The one that I kept for myself was the one that luck and providence gave me. And then this Christmas, at least once a year, and the need to send greeting cards and salutations to friends and relatives. What better subject than candid pictures of one's own adorable children being adorable? Fleeting expressions, unexpected moments, what better reason for carefully reading contact sheets? But for the good of our industry and to protect the mystique and the mistakes of photographers, contact sheets must be as private as conversations with a psychiatrist or sessions with one's own father confessor.